Alright, so in this video I'm going to be teaching how to make maskings for animashes and edits in Premiere Pro. So there are actually two ways to do this. The method I'll be going through first is for Adobe Premiere Pro 2026. So if it's updated to the most recent version and it says 2026 on your version of Premiere Pro, then you can probably do this, and you can check later when I actually start. The other way is using After Effects and Premiere. The reason I say both is because it's a lot easier to put the clips together in Premiere and then edit them in After Effects. It's a little bit more difficult to do things straight from After Effects than it is to do in Premiere. But we'll get started. So first, obviously open up Premiere Pro and create a new project. I'll just call this one masking tutorial. So now that we're here, first we have to import our media. So I have videos of the Lion Guard, so I'll just choose a random one. I'll just use this one. So now double click on the video. You can drag through the video and see what you want to mask out. For example, I'll just do this part of Anga flying. So when you find the part you want to use, press I at the beginning and then scroll through or hit the play button and find the end. And you can fine tune which frame you're on by pressing the arrow keys, the left and right. So right now I'm pressing the left arrow key to make sure I get it exact. When you get to the end of the clip, press up. And then, since usually maskings don't have any sound, hover over this thing that says drag video only and drag it to your timeline. So now we have our video in the timeline and it's time to get started. So the way you know if you can do this is if you have this tool here in your toolbar. Your toolbar might be like this. I like to drag it out a little so I can see all the tools more clearly. But here is the object mask tool. If you hover over it, it should say that. But if it doesn't, for some reason, it's just a rectangle with a mouse on it. So you have to select your clip, and then when you have the tool, you hover over what you want to mask out. So once you click on it, it should automatically have what you want, have the main subject selected. And so you can fine tune this if you notice that there's some things wrong with it. If you want to add some parts, make sure you're on lasso. And for example, if this cloud was actually a part of her, I could draw, and then the cloud is actually now there in the masking. But if, for example, if the cloud was there and I didn't want it there, I could click on the subtract button and then draw around the cloud, and it'll get rid of it. So you'll notice that when you hit play, it does not track the object. So how you want to do that is go to Effect Controls up here. Sometimes it'll be on this tab. You just click on this one that has the name of your video and doesn't say source. And so you'll see this thing that says Object Mask with the number of the mask that you are using. If you notice that there's multiple masks, just check them and make sure you don't accidentally make multiple, and then you can delete the other ones and click on the mask. Like, make sure you have your current mask selected if you want to edit it, so that when you edit it, it stays in that mask instead of making a new one. But how you want to track is where it says tracker right here. There's 5 options. You can do it backward 1 frame, mask it backwards the whole way, do it forward and backward, mask it forward the whole way, and mask forward 1 frame. So you'll usually want to use forward and backward, but for when you're fine-tuning the tracking, you might want to use these other tools. So I'm gonna go ahead and press forward and backward, and it'll start going it's usually very quick. I don't know how it is for other computers, but this computer that I have, it does this very quickly, a lot quicker and less heavy on my computer than the way in After Effects that I will show later. But now you see that the mask has tracked through the video, and it doesn't look like there's any problems with it. And so now what we want to do is right-click on the mask and press Change to Opacity Mask. And here you'll see that the background is now gone. Another way you can do that is by taking your object mask here and dragging it to where it says opacity, and it does the same thing, whichever one's easier for you. And now you notice that we have a black background. What I usually like to do is just really easy and quick. You download a picture of a green screen off the internet, and then you just import the picture that you downloaded. Usually your video will be in the first track, but you want the green screen to be in the first track if you're doing it this way. So so you can just scoot the video up to the second track and then put the green screen below it. And so now if we play it back, yeah, so we just made a masking, which is pretty cool. So in Premiere, you want to get out the clip that you want to cut out, just like how you did before. So you hit I at the beginning and click O at the end, and then drag it into your timeline. But this time, right click on the video and then press Replace with After Effects Composition. So when you click that, it'll load for a little bit. Once it opens, you'll be prompted to name your project in After Effects. So we're just going to call it a Simba mask. And then here we go. We have the picture in here now. And so what you want to do is double click on the video in the side right here. And then you'll see it in the layer section. So you want to look in the layer section here, not composition. We just want to look at layer for right now. And then up here at the top, there's a button that says that when you hover over it, it says Roto Brush Tool. It also has a paintbrush and a stick man on it. Usually, it's not this one because this one just draws on your screen, but this one is the Roto Brush, which does the masking. So now, once you have the Roto Brush, draw a line through your thing that you want to do. And it usually won't end up perfect, so you just keep on drawing more lines until you've got everything selected. This is the most foolproof way, in my opinion. So now we've got that one frame masked, and so what you want to do now, if you select something that you don't want to select, press Alt and drag, and then that'll get rid of that part. And now, when you have it good, you want to hit freeze right here, and then it'll take a little while, depending on your specs, but it'll pretty much always take longer than Premiere. But it'll track every frame. Now we have in our actual composition a masked out clip of Simba. And so now, if we want to change the color of the background to be green, press composition settings, and right here you'll see background color. Go to green, and then go to the brightest green right here. You can adjust the color a little bit. You can also make it blue if somebody in the video is green. Sometimes blue screen works better than green screen. You just kind of have to test it out after you've made the masking. But usually, green is the way to go. So now you change the background to green, and we've got that. Notice that there's some blue and some like weird janky outlines sometimes. I mean, to make the edges less jagged, you can use the feather tool, and that will fix it a little bit. It won't make the background color go away, but you can fine tune that in the roto editor as you see fit. So, but this is good enough for the tutorial, but you can obviously fix it if you want to. And now if you go back to Premiere, the video is now on the green screen. So pretty cool. So that's all I really wanted to say. You could technically do this whole thing in After Effects. If you know how to use After Effects more than I do, then go ahead and do that. But I think it's, as someone who uses Premiere more often, it's a lot easier to put it together in Premiere and then go to After Effects. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you learned something nice and helpful. Yeah, so bye.